Imagine waking up in the middle of the night, unable to move as a cold, oppressive weight settles on your chest. You look toward the foot of your bed, and there she is, a woman in a vibrant, blood-red dress, her face a pale mask of sorrow and rage. This isn't a scene from a horror movie. It's the documented reality for dozens of guests who have stayed in room 441 of Chicago's Congress Plaza Hotel. Why does this lady in red target specific guests, and what is the dark secret hidden behind the hotel's bricked-up walls that she seems to be guarding? Tonight, we step inside the most haunted hotel in America to uncover the terrifying truth of the Congress Plaza haunting.
The Congress Plaza Hotel wasn't built to be a house of horrors. It was designed to be the crown jewel of the 1893 World's Columbian Exposition, a white city meant to showcase the pinnacle of human achievement. Standing tall on Michigan Avenue, it was the annex to the Grand Auditorium building, a place where presidents, socialites, and even the world's most notorious gangsters would eventually lay their heads. But from the moment its foundations were laid, something felt off. The hotel was constructed with a labyrinthine layout, hallways that lead to nowhere, rooms with no windows, and secret passages designed for the elite to move unseen.
Mystery Code has uncovered architectural records suggesting that the hotel's original designer, Clinton Warren, may have incorporated occult geometry into the floor plans, creating what some experts call a spiritual funnel that traps energy within its walls. As the years passed, the Congress Plaza became more than just a hotel. It became a silent witness to Chicago's darkest chapters. While the city outside evolved, the hotel seemed to remain frozen in time, its ornate gold room and Florentine room echoing with the whispers of the past. But it's the South Tower that holds the most concentrated dread. This is where the lady in red is most frequently seen. Witnesses describe her as a woman in her late 20s, dressed in a style that suggests the late 1920s or early 30s, a flapper-era silhouette that stands out against the modern decor of the hotel. She doesn't just walk the halls, she glides, her eyes fixed on something only she can see, until she turns her gaze toward a living soul. But who was she? Legend says she was a guest who checked in during the height of the Great Depression. She was a woman of means who had lost everything in the market crash. Distraught and abandoned by her social circle, she allegedly made a final tragic choice on the 12th floor. But there are no official records of her death. This is the first information gap in our story. How can a woman so vividly seen by hundreds of people leave no paper trail? Mystery Code believes this is a vital piece of the puzzle. It suggests that her presence might not be the result of a single tragedy, but a manifestation of the hotel's collective trauma.
Wait, if there's no record of her, then why is room 441 so consistently active? Room 441 is widely regarded as the most aggressive room in the hotel. Security guards at the Congress Plaza receive more calls for this single room than all other rooms combined. Guests report having their beds kicked violently in the middle of the night. Some have felt invisible hands pulling at their blankets or whispering their names into their ears. One guest reported waking up to find the lady in red standing over them, her hand reaching out as if to choke the life from them. When the guest screamed, she didn't vanish. She simply dissolved into a red mist that smelled of old roses and decay.
The activity in room 441 is so intense that the hotel staff often warn each other before entering for cleaning. There's a psychological weight to the room that defies logic. Skeptics argue it's just the power of suggestion. But how do you explain the guests who knew nothing of the hotel's history and still reported the exact same entity? The lady in red isn't just a ghost. She's an apex predator of the paranormal. She feeds on the fear of those who occupy her space.
But as terrifying as the lady in red is, she isn't the only resident who refused to check out. Every 10 minutes or so, guests on the 12th floor report hearing the sound of a young boy running down the hallway. This is Carl Langer. In 1939, his mother, Adele Langer, in a fit of psychosis, threw Carl and his younger brother Jan out of the 12th floor window before jumping herself. Jan died instantly, and Adele followed shortly after. But Carl's story is different. His spirit seems bound to the floor, forever playing a game of tag with the living. Guests have seen him peek around corners, his face pale and eyes wide with a mix of curiosity and fear. Now here is where the mystery deepens. Some researchers believe the lady in red isn't a guest at all, but a guardian. There are rumors of a sealed room on the 12th floor, a room that was walled off during a renovation in the 1950s. Why would a hotel, in the business of making money, permanently remove a room from its inventory? The official story is that the room was structurally unsound, but the unofficial story, whispered by long-term employees, is that whatever was inside that room was so malevolent, so fundamentally wrong, that the only solution was to bury it behind bricks and mortar. Mystery Code will now reveal the truth as follows. During a private investigation, thermal imaging cameras directed at that sealed section of the wall detected a heat signature that shouldn't exist. It was the shape of a person, standing perfectly still, day and night. Is it possible that the lady in red isn't wandering the halls by choice, but is actually trying to keep something else in? Think about it. The sightings of her often coincide with reports of a much darker, shadow-like figure that has been seen lurking near the gold room.
This shadow man, often identified as Captain Luis Ostheim, a Spanish-American war veteran who took his own life in the hotel, is a different kind of haunt. He is a low-frequency entity. He doesn't interact. He just observes. But when the lady in red is active, the shadow man is never far behind. It's as if they are two sides of the same coin, a balance of sorrow and silence that keeps the hotel's energy in a state of perpetual agitation.
Let's go back to the 1893 World's Fair for a moment. The White City was a marvel, but it was also a place of immense darkness. This was the era of H.H. Holmes, the infamous serial killer who built his murder castle just a few miles away. While there is no direct evidence that Holmes operated within the Congress Plaza, the atmosphere of the time was one of anonymity and easy disappearance. The hotel's proximity to the fair meant that thousands of people were cycling through every week. It was the perfect hunting ground for someone who didn't want to be found.
Could the lady in red be one of Holmes's forgotten victims, or perhaps a victim of a copycat? The hotel's basement is a sprawling network of tunnels that once connected to the city's underground freight system. Explorers who have ventured into these lower levels report a sense of being watched by hundreds of eyes. The air is thick with the smell of wet earth and copper. One of the most chilling accounts comes from a former night manager who claimed that he once followed a woman in a red dress into one of these service elevators. The elevator descended past the basement, deep into the bedrock of Chicago.
When the doors opened, the manager saw a dimly lit corridor lined with ornate Victorian-style doors that weren't on any floor plan.
This brings us to the concept of the Hand of Mystery. In the Gold Room, there is a legendary story about a construction worker who was accidentally trapped behind a wall. To this day, a gloved hand is said to be seen reaching out from the drywall. While this sounds like an urban legend, a maintenance check revealed a void in that exact wall that contained a single petrified leather glove from the late 19th century. Mystery Code believes this glove is more than just a relic. It's a physical anchor for the entities within the hotel. Every ghost needs a reason to stay, a tether to the physical world. As we reach the final stages of our investigation, we have to ask, why do people keep coming back? Why stay in a room where you might be kicked, choked, or watched by a woman in red? The answer lies in the human fascination with the forbidden. The Congress Plaza offers a direct connection to the veil. It is a place where the rules of logic are suspended, and for a few $100s a night, you can test your own courage against the unknown. But be warned, the lady in red doesn't like being studied. Every time a new investigation is launched, the activity in room 441 spikes. It's as if she can hear us talking about her across time and space. Some say that if you look into the mirror of the 12th floor at midnight, you'll see her reflection behind yours, her red dress shimmering in the moonlight, and her hand will reach out to touch your shoulder.
The most terrifying part isn't the ghost itself. It's the realization that once you've seen her, you never really leave the Congress Plaza. Guests report having dreams of the hotel's red-carpeted hallways for years after their stay.
So, the next time you find yourself in Chicago and you see the grand sign of the Congress Plaza Hotel glowing against the skyline, think twice before you book a room. If you do, and you find yourself assigned to the 4th floor, or worse, the 12th, keep the lights on. Because in the silence of the night, when the city of Chicago is asleep, the lady in red is still walking. She is still waiting, and she is very, very hungry for company. The mystery of the lady in red remains one of the great logical gaps of the paranormal world. Was she a victim, a guardian, or something else entirely?
Perhaps the truth is buried in that sealed room on the 12th floor, waiting for the day the bricks finally crumble. Until then, we can only watch, wait, and listen for the rustle of a red silk dress in the dark. Mystery Code will continue to monitor the reports from room 441, but one thing is certain: some mysteries are better left unsolved. If you ever visit, remember to look at the foot of your bed before you close your eyes. You might just see a flash of red before the lights go out for good. And that is the true haunting of the Congress Plaza. A cycle of tragedy, a labyrinth of secrets, and a woman who refuses to be forgotten. She is the lady in red, and she is the heart of the mystery that still beats within the walls of Chicago's most haunted landmark.